welcome to another exciting episode of Meet the Coach. We are back once again with another amazing guest who is a life coach, and I'm really excited for this interview because I'm sure the kind of work that my guest today is doing is something which is really amazing, and she's not just a wife but a busy mother of four, and she really understands the importance of finding balance in an unbalanced world, and she really makes sure that how she can help you evaluate your strengths and weaknesses in all areas of life. So I won't be taking more of your time, and please welcome my guest, Miss Dawn Hansen. Hey Dawn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm so glad we were finally able to find a time to do this.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I say, I think I can totally now relate to that part where you say that you're a busy mother of four.
Mhm. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Having four kids certainly keeps you busy and on your toes. And, it's a blessing and it's a challenge too, but I love them all. And, I'm just happy to be here. And thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciate you for taking time out and agreeing to do this and sharing your journey and sharing some insights with us. So I'll not waste any more time and I'll jump right into it. Please share us what is it that you do and how you got started.
Yeah, so really, I've always loved just connecting with people and really, relating to them. And over, the course of my lifetime, I've been through, quite a few things, and it could have always been worse. I always, have a positive spin on it, but I just feel like that's something that I'd like to be able to share with people, to be able to relate with them in different areas and help them, find ways to get past those things. Sometimes we get stuck in our lives, whether you're a stay-at-home mom with your kids and you get wrapped up in taking care of everybody else and you forget about yourself, you kind of lose yourself. Or whether your job is, a 9 to 5, you get wrapped up in that too. And you kind of, you forget what your dreams were when you were younger. And, as with a pandemic and all that kind of stuff, I think we all kind of got lost, and it was it's good and bad. There's a silver lining. We kind of had to stop. We had to reevaluate things. We didn't have a choice. We sat down and said, okay, what is it that we really want to do? And you look at your life again and be like, is this really what I want to do? Is this really where I want to be? What are my true passions? Because I've lost all that, and it happens. And coming back out of the pandemic, and we're trying to get back to normal, but there's been so much that's gone on that I think, financially people are struggling that weren't struggling before. Just emotionally, the
Yeah.
stress and the anxiety that came out of it, everyone's panicking and worrying about, their family's health, their children, all that kind of stuff. And with good reason. But, we still have to live a life, and we want to live a healthy, balanced life, one where we can enjoy it, and try to, rid ourselves of so much panic and worry. And so, at the beginning of the year, I kind of said, I think now is the time for me to really look more into, getting to be a life coach, and really being able to help people overcome these challenges, because it's something that I've kind of always kind of done anyway. And
Yeah.
it wasn't just it just wasn't an official title. I've always been told that I'm very easy to talk to. Complete strangers have told me, their whole life story. And I love it. I just love getting to know people. But what I do as a life coach, is really just help people evaluate where they are in their life. Through the Oola framework, it evaluates 7 areas of your life. So basically the 7 areas make up the whole part of your life, being fitness, field, being your career, finance, faith, friends, family, and fun. So if you break it all down, that pretty much encompasses every part of your life. And it really, really has you just take a look at, where are you in each of those areas? Some of us are
Yeah.
struggling in some areas, but there's some areas that we struggle in, and really determining what it is that's keeping us from becoming better in those areas. So sitting down and figuring out like what are our true goals, our true dreams, dreaming big and not just dreaming small. They joke about like tear it up and dream bigger, because I was like, oh, well, one day I'd love to do this, but oh, that'll never happen type of thing, but we can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
We really have to just lay it all out there and put a plan in action. And that's really, what it comes down to. And we're going to hit the blockers. We're going to have fear. We're going to have self-sabotage. We're going to run into those things, but there are ways around it. And, being able to identify what's holding you back and then really just work through it. And, it takes time sometimes, but, you can really do it and just helping people and being there to show them that this is something that they can do, to help them, be there to be accountable for their goals, for their daily actions. And, that's really what it's all about. And just watching people be able to grow and achieve those dreams and those goals that they really want. So.
Well, that's awesome. And I totally relate to that yes, it takes time and it's a journey. And it's a process. I think the process is a better word. And yes, what I find interesting is that with frameworks like these that are so comprehensive and holistic, I think it's a well-balanced approach that you are able to take with that. Usually what happens is that people are so focused on just one element or one aspect in their life that they are really successful in that, but in all other categories they are suffering and without even knowing. So I think this is an amazing thing. So I mean, just a bit background on how you got to know about Oola and how that fits in your journey. Can you share a bit about that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. It kind of came into my life just at the perfect time. In the beginning of the year, I was, already had my mindset. I had my hands in different things, and I really just said to myself, I'm ready to just, kind of get rid of the noise and really focus in on something that I'm truly passionate about. And I had set up this goal setting and group on Facebook, and so I already kind of laid out the groundwork, I guess, before I even knew about Oola. And so that's why I think it's so funny. I set 21 goals for 2021. Had this group like about holding each other accountable. And, a couple months down the road, here comes Oola, and they talk about 21 goals. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of like, wow. Because they talk about the 7 areas and then they go into having 3 main goals in each of the areas, which would be your 21 goals. And I'm like, that's so crazy, they had a portion of the group was goal setters. I'm like, everything kind of just, it was random that it came across. I was actually introduced to Oola by a colleague of mine who was newer to it as well. But, the Oola guys have been around for a while, a long time. They actually have some books that are written. They have Oola for Christians and Oola for women. And then they took that and they have this VW bus that they take, and they have dream stickers, and they travel all around the country, and people stop them on the side of the road and they say, which sticker do you want? You want a finance sticker? What is your dream and what is your goal? And they write them on there, and they have 20 something layers of these dream stickers on this old Volkswagen bus that doesn't go any more than 50 miles an hour, has no air conditioning, just travel. So then they created Oola Palooza, which is a once a year event, 2-day event where, again, it's all about just digging deep, finding your blockers, really honing in on what your dreams are and all of that. and figuring out where you want to go and the way that you can get there. So from that, they developed the coaching program, and that's what I was able to go through that program and become certified as a life coach through Oola. We have a 10-week program and a 3-week program, so depends on, some people aren't ready for the full-blown 10-week, so we do have a shortened version, the 3-week, and we also have a green gap program because the Oola guys are very, very serious about being debt free and not having, because the burden that finance can play in your life, even if everything else is good and your finances are struggling, it can throw everything off. Just like, it only takes one of those 7 to throw everything off, so, and then you're out of balance. Your Oola wheel is out of balance. So you can still run, but it's not as efficient, right? So we want to make sure we're all in balance. But the Green Gap program talks about how to create a monthly budget, how to, create a gap so that you can pay off your debt. You can focus on, putting money away for retirement and all that type of stuff, and still have fun while doing it. So it allows you, gives you permission to still save a little bit of money to like go out and, have a nice vacation or an extended weekend or whatever. And that's important, to still be able to enjoy yourself while you're doing these things. But on the flip side of that, they then created this platform, which is amazing. So for those who are not ready for those full-blown one-on-one programs with, with an individual coach, it's almost like self-guided, but then they have communities that you can tap into as well for, guidance and accountability if you choose. But they have a platform that's both on the computer and in the app that, takes you through the same framework and allows you to, work through it on your own if you want, figure out where you are. It shows you how your wheel turns out, and it's catered to you. So that's the beauty of it. It's not a black and white, everyone gets the same program. It takes your answers in the beginning and asks you all these questions in the beginning, and then takes that information and lays this program out for you a week by week for the first 3 months, just educating you and talking about like, well, you scored low in this area, so here's how you can overcome that, and taking you through videos and worksheets, and just allowing you to keep track of your dreams and your daily activity tracker, which is huge, and then gives you little accolades. So when you hit, you have a 5-day streak of your daily activity, then you can go share that on social media. So it makes it a little bit fun, and it allows you to feel a sense of accomplishment and feel proud of the steps that you're taking.
It's like they have gamified it. It's like they have gamified it. That's fantastic. It's that's really fantastic. It sort of increases the engagement and participation. So awesome. So I mean that brings me to my next question, which is, now you've been certified. You are a certified life coach from there. So how that journey as a business for you, and what you think? I mean, you mentioned that everything you need to learn because things changed because of pandemic and the new normal. So how was that journey as a business, and what one advice would you give to others who are probably 1 year from, where you were 1 year ago? So if they are right now trying to start something of their own, what advice would you give that can keep them going or something like that?
Yeah, I think, one of the biggest things I think is consistency and discipline, honestly. And those are tough for me too. And I think that, if you want to get anywhere, it doesn't even matter, it doesn't matter if you're talking about work, it doesn't matter if you're talking about health, whatever it is, just try and be as consistent as possible. And it's okay if you fall off the track, and just make sure you get back on and you keep on going,
Exactly.
and utilize, your community and people who are doing what you're doing, and, who are where you are, where you want to be. Most people are more than willing to help you and share with you their journey. And most times it wasn't easy for them either. So I know any of the people who are very successful, if you truly listen to their stories, it's not an easy road. People don't get to to be successful overnight as much as most people like to think that. But try to, not compare yourself with others. This is your journey. That's another thing that I've been learning, and to really just look at yourself and know that you're going to be, growing through it as well. Because I've definitely, I'm not just helping teach others about Oola, I'm going through this same framework, and I'm learning so much, about discipline, about getting rid of all of the clutter, not just in my house, in my mind, in everywhere. Getting rid of past things that are weighing me down. My mom passed away 20 years ago, and it took me 20 years to spread her ashes. So it was only this year, only a couple months ago on her 20-year anniversary, that I was ready to say, okay, I can do this, and so just realize that and be proud of yourself for those things that, it may have taken you a while, but it's not how long it takes you. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you're going to get there. Just stick with it, try and give yourself a little bit of, don't be so hard on yourself sometimes, but also don't let up on yourself too. So it's like, it's gotta be a healthy balance. But I know for me, trying to get out of the self-sabotage and the negative talk and all that kind of stuff. I can motivate people like no other, but sometimes when it comes to yourself, you're so hard on yourself. So it's something that, that a lot of us have to overcome, and just be proud of your accomplishments. And if it takes you a little bit longer than somebody else, that's fine, because that's your journey and that's not their journey, so.
I think there are so many amazing nuggets of values that you've shared. I think what I love that it's right. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And at the same time, I think something that I learned from my mentors, that it's always progress over perfection. You don't need to be a perfectionist or be so hard on yourself, because it's a progress and it's a journey, like you said, where you keep evolving and keep learning new thing. I always say, whenever I get to work with a new client, every session, it grows me, and it is an opportunity for me to grow and learn new stuff. So yeah, and what's the best thing about this is that you are in that process, or you are actually applying that framework that you are working with your clients. So quickly, for the audiences who are watching this, is there any upcoming event, workshop, or course that you're offering? And who is your target audience for that? Can you please share a bit about that?
Yeah. So, Oola as a whole, we do have an Oola Summit that's coming up on September 18th. That would be a virtual event that's open for anyone who's really just curious about, the framework, learning more about the Oola guys, hearing success stories of, so many stories about people who have taken this framework and, lost a bunch of weight, paid off a ton of debt, just totally changed their lives. And it's just, it's a great introduction. It will be a great introduction.
And this is an online event, right?
That is online. They are going to be doing a small group in person, but for the majority, it will be online. Yes. So
what we'll do is, when we are streaming this interview, we'll share all the details and links in the comments and the descriptions. Can you please share how anyone who's interested in reaching out to you, how they can connect with you, or if there is any way to schedule a conversation with you?
Yeah, sure. You can check out my website is www.coachdawnscorner.com, or you can email me at dawn@embracinglifebalance.com. Either one of those, I'll be able to, you can schedule a session through the website. There's a link there, so you can schedule a session there, or if you'd like to email, whichever is, is easiest. We also have inner circles that are ongoing. They're open to anyone, just to have a core group, 3 to 7 people just to be able to kind of be like, hey, I'm really struggling. Here's the areas I want to work on. And it's just a group of accountability partners, is non-judgmental. It doesn't matter what your background is, nothing like that. It's just, they meet typically like once every 2 weeks. Just to kind of recap and see, how's everyone doing? What do you need help with? What can we help you with? How can we motivate you, encourage you, help you, continue to move forward? So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's a good way, and to our audience, we'll definitely share all these links in the description and in the comments. And trust me, I would highly recommend reaching out to Dawn and have a conversation with her. She's super approachable, and she always, whenever you are having conversation with her, she always share so much amazing value that I think it will be a time well spent. So please make full use of this opportunity where you can go to her website and schedule a conversation. And those inner circle sounds really amazing. So please connect with her. I'll be sharing all the links in the comments and description. Dawn, any parting thoughts?
No, all I have to say is, like my background here, where it says, don't settle for ordinary when extraordinary is within you. It's out there, go get it. So you just have to, be consistent and just keep your head up and keep moving forward. You got it.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and sharing so much value. I really appreciate that. And to our audience, we'll be back next week with another amazing coach as guest. And stay tuned for that. For that. And till then, have fun. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.